Kobe Bryant would have been 43 today. Good morning. Welcome to the episode of Heartfelt Radio. Appreciate you tuning in with me today. This is the show that values time, so let's not waste any. So we have to start with a rest in peace and a happy birthday for what would have been the 43rd birthday for one Kobe Bryant. Anyone who ever's watched the show to any degree, going back to literally my first two videos, know how I feel about Kobe. One of the greatest players I've ever got to watch in real time. Obviously, tragically lost Kobe now almost 2 years ago now. What made Kobe so interesting as a player is I really didn't like him that much when I was actually growing up. It's usually because he was beating my team and I was a kid and I didn't have this appreciation towards, okay, this is the team I'm rooting for versus these guys are just naturally great, and that's something to appreciate as well. So I disliked Kobe a lot of his actual playing career. I started to gain more respect and more appreciation, unfortunately, towards the end, once he suffered the first injury. And then once you realize what you didn't have is when I was like, damn, this is a guy who came into the league right out of high school. Everybody saw the talent. You got 3 titles with Shaq. Then you have the time period of in between Shaq and Gasol where he's just putting up crazy numbers. I mean, he's going for 35 a game, the 81-point games in there, obviously, the 62 and three-quarter against the Mavericks. Take your pick about the Kobe game. Then you have the 2 titles he gets with Powell at the end. They tried to acquire Chris Paul. That didn't work. The NBA vetoed that trade. Then they get the Dwight Howard, Steve Nash team. That doesn't work. They lose Mavericks, then the ACL injury, and we all know how the rest goes. But the coolest thing about Kobe, and I've never seen, Kobe Bryant and Steph Curry are the only 2 players who have ever made me feel like this. And that is, I don't care about the percentages. I don't care about the score of the game. I don't care about what's going on during the game. They're the only 2 guys ever, and I've seen great scores. I've seen T-Mac, I've seen Melo, I've seen Durant. Take your pick on James Harden. Kobe and Steph are the only 2 guys I never got tired of seeing shoot the basketball. And I never knew if they were going to miss. It never crossed my mind that when they shoot the ball, they could miss the shot. And Kobe's got the most missed shots in NBA history. And it felt like every time he shot, it was still going to go in. Very few people get to live off their will and their force. Like their will and their aura and their force just feel so strong, like you just can't deny them. Kobe is the epitome of that. Most missed shots ever, and it felt like he would never miss when it really mattered. Appreciate the greatness you get to watch with some of these guys. Appreciate the greatness of a LeBron James, a Kevin Durant, a James Harden, a Giannis, a Joel Embiid, even in other sports, Albert Pujols, Miguel Cabrera. If you're really a sports fan, appreciate what you get to see on the field. Even if it's against your team, it's not for your team, whatever the case is. Be happy we get to watch this. Kobe Bryant would have been 43 today. Moving on. This is going to be my only real pre-talk about the Lakers, and that is the construction of their roster, obviously with Russell Westbrook and everything going on. People I don't think understand how stardom works and how superstars work. Superstars just live in a whole different world than us. I went to Baja Beach Fest last weekend. Great event, had a lot of fun. Got tested twice, COVID negative both times, so yay. Pretty much everybody's set was pretty good. But there was clearly a difference of the sets for and the budgets for superstars. Ozuna is a bigger superstar versus some of the acts went on earlier in the day. He gets more fireworks. He gets more pyrotechnics. He gets a bigger budget to do more stuff. He also, part of the way he becomes a superstar is he performs better. Any festival and any event, the bigger the star is, not only the more they can do, but more that's expected and more that's allowed. Last Sunday, they ended Baja Beach Fest first weekend with J Balvin. J Balvin didn't get there until 2 a.m. And they still let J Balvin roll his whole set. If you're not J Balvin or you're not that level of superstar and you are an hour and a half late for your set, you don't perform. LeBron has been endorsing Russell Westbrook since the trade. They've been working out together. While I would agree that it's probably not a natural fit, those two playing together, but it's a fit that will work because of how great LeBron is. And LeBron is the kind of superstar that if LeBron shows up 2 hours late, LeBron gets to play his whole set. If he's got Russ and Melo and AD and Dwight, if that's theoretically one of their starting lineups. Dwight's past his prime, obviously. Melo's past his prime. Russ past his prime. AD, how healthy is he? Is he still going to be injured? Almost none of that matters because you got LeBron. LeBron James can make it work. He's that big of a superstar. Now, there's not many of those, and I'm not saying you got to be where LeBron is in the all-time Pantheon rankings to make it work. You don't. Giannis has made it work, and no one believed his team was ready to win a title until they actually did. There's just a different rule for superstars. So do I think the Lakers are title favorites? I'm probably not putting them there. But do the Lakers work? Absolutely. And they work because of one reason. LeBron James.